Figured out how to work my camera. Some days I just have trouble working technology. Hello, everyone. How are you? Let's see, we have a little bit crazy, Nettie, happy place camping. Hello, hello. How is everybody's day going? Hopefully good. Nettie, did you get everything done this morning? Some days I just have trouble. That is very, very true. Some days it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. Hi, Linda Barker. I am doing good today. Today is a good day. I am having a little trouble with my throat, so if I'm quieter than usual and you're having trouble hearing me, let me know and I'll turn the volume up on my mic. But other than that, I am doing good. Hi, our epic RV adventure. I hope you're out there having fun exploring everywhere and everything. Hi, Van Life with Gina Payne. How are you? So far, so good on the audio. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through our true crime story today. It's kind of a wild one and maybe a little bit gruesome. So be prepared for gruesomeness. But has anyone heard of the Kelly Cochran case? Before I get started, hi, senior sister. How are you today? Hi, Tinks. From Ireland. Hello. How are you? Our epic RV adventure, you've heard of it? Ooh, okay. Yeah, there's some twists and turns in this case that are kind of like, whoa, what? You thought her pic looked familiar, but doesn't ring a bell? Okay. Well, Kelly Cochran is, okay, Kelly was married to a boy. Hi, Johnny's Journey. Kelly grew up next to a man named Jason, and Jason's last name was Cochran. So Kelly married Jason Cochran. They lived next door to each other, and they got married after high school in 2002. They were from Maryville, Indiana. And when they got married, and hey, little bit crazy, welcome back. They got married in 2002, and right after they got married, they started a pool cleaning business. And they did that for a pretty good amount of time. They were known to be pretty nice people, but a little bit strange was how people would describe them. Nice, but a little bit strange, a little bit different. Well, doing the cleaning business got to be a little bit difficult on Jason. Jason's back began to hurt. It got worse and worse, and eventually he just couldn't do the cleaning the pools anymore. So they decided to move to Michigan. Now, why would they move to Michigan of all places? Well, in Michigan, I guess at the time, it was legal to smoke the devil's lettuce. And Jason thought the devil's lettuce would help his back. So they quit doing the pool cleaning business and they up and moved to Michigan so that Jason could stay home and enjoy his devil's lettuce, and Kelly could work at Lake Shore Systems plant. I guess it was like, I don't know, some kind of plant that she worked at. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. The devil's lettuce. Well, trying to keep terms as friendly as possible. So Kelly would meet a man at work, and this man's name was Christopher Regan. Now, I had actually heard Devil's Lettuce when I was a kid, but I heard it recently on a podcast, so I figured I would use it and hope that it's okay to use on YouTube. But Kelly would meet Christopher Regan, a 53-year-old man, at her work at Lakeshore System Plant. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Christopher Regan. Christopher Regan had moved to Michigan because he met a teacher named Terry. And he had gotten involved with this teacher named Terry, but him and Terry kind of had some issues, and he started dating Kelly. Are we seeing the love triangle mess that is now created? So Terry and Christopher kind of went their separate ways. Kelly and Christopher started getting hot and heavy. They were working together. But Christopher started to realize that Kelly was a little not quite right. So Kelly and Chris, they decided to cool things off a little bit, and Christopher decided to move. He got a new job. He wanted to cool things off with Kelly, wanted to kind of hit a reset button on his life. He also really missed Terry, the teacher, and I think he really loved her. Wanted to start things over with her again. So on October 14th, 2014, Christopher texted Terry, the teacher, to try and reconcile. And Chris would text her and ask if he could meet up with her that weekend. And then could they spend Thanksgiving together? Could they spend Christmas together? He had wanted to make long-term plans with her. But Terry wouldn't hear from him again, which Terry knew something was pretty wrong when 10 days later she decided to call the police because she hadn't heard from him again. And that wasn't like him. So the police came, they checked his apartment, and this is when Terry realized something was really wrong. His apartment didn't look like it normally looked. Christopher was a pretty clean, kept, very organized person. And there's some video out there of his apartment and her walking through his apartment and kind of pointing out the things that just didn't look right. So about this same time, they find his car, and they find it in town. And in the car, they find directions that Christopher had written, and those directions lead to a house. Well, the house they lead to is Kelly Cochran's house. So the police go and they question Kelly. Have you seen Christopher Regan? Do you know where Christopher Regan might be? We found his car. We found your address. They asked Jason, Jason, do you know who Christopher Regan is? Have you seen him? Well, Kelly, she's all cool, calm, and collected. Jason, he seems a little bit off. Hi, Mons. So he seems a little bit off, and the police get a little bit a little bit of feelings about them too. So a little while later, the police start to figure things out, and they figure out that Kelly had been in a relationship with Christopher. So they bring him back in for questioning. And Kelly claims that she had an open marriage, that Jason had no problems with Kelly dating other men, and that she had multiple boyfriends. Christopher wasn't the only boyfriend. Well, then they questioned Jason. And Jason says, well, I knew she had Christopher as a boyfriend and maybe some other boyfriends, but I wasn't real happy about it. See, Kelly claimed that because his back was hurt and he needed the devil's lettuce and he had depression, that he couldn't be physical with her, and that because of that, he was okay with her having relationships with other people. Jason, he didn't really feel the same way. He just said that he knew she was having relationships with other people. So the police really kind of got two different feelings about them. So about a few months later, the police decided to search the Cochran's home. When they go in to search, they actually film it. When they walk in the door, they immediately find a hammer hidden up on a bookshelf. They find a baseball bat. They find a loaded .22. They find other loaded bang-bangs. And then they find a rough draft for a book. The rough draft for the book seemed to be an outline for maybe a murder. And the victim of the murder mystery seemed to fit Christopher's description. Things aren't looking very good. Well, after questioning them again, Kelly and Jason then seem to decide that the heat's getting a little too hot, and they up and move. They just move. The police didn't really have enough to arrest them at this point. There was no real evidence in the house to connect them to the murder yet, so they move. They move back to their original home state, which was Indiana, I think I said. Is that what I said? Yeah, they moved back to Indiana. Well, on February 20th, 2016, almost exactly a year later, Kelly calls 911 saying Jason isn't breathing. She's devastated. Jason isn't breathing. So 911, the ambulance comes out. By the time the ambulance gets there, he's already passed away. Kelly claims that it was a heroin overdose. No, Jason met Crazy Kelly. Jason's the husband. So, Kelly claims that Jason had been using heroin to deal with his back pain, that he stepped it up a notch from the devil's lettuce to heroin. But his family and friends said that he didn't use heavy drugs like that. He never used anything more than the devil's lettuce. So there wasn't any way that that's what killed him, that he wouldn't have overdosed on that. So the coroners did an autopsy, and they did find that he had, other drugs in his system besides the devil's lettuce. But they found that he had been strangled to death. His cause of death was strangulation. Well, guess what? Just when they thought Kelly was about to crack, just when they thought they were going to crack the case and Kelly was going to crack under pressure, she left town again. This time she went to Kentucky in April of 2016. But they didn't let her get away this time. This time they went after her and they arrested her. And when they brought her in, she told police everything. She told police that her and Jason had a pact the night they got married, that if she was to ever cheat, or if he was to ever cheat, that they had to kill whoever they cheated with. And if they couldn't go through with it, then their spouse had to kill the person they cheated with. So Kelly claimed Jason forced her to set up Christopher and invite him over the night that he went missing. And so she invited him over to her house, and she started doing things with him. Use your imagination. And that Jason came up behind him and shot and killed him. Then they cut him up and dumped him, but not all of him. We'll get to that in a little bit. Not all of him. Oh yes, he knew she was crazy from the beginning. They were both crazy, apparently. This is her story. So Kelly took the investigators to where she had dumped Christopher. Only Jesse said he doesn't know what you're talking about. Use your imagination. So Kelly took investigators to where she had dumped him, but all they found was a skull. They didn't find more than just a skull, and they kept asking her, "Where's the rest of him? Where's the rest of him?" She didn't really have any answers for him. So they asked her what happened with her husband. Why'd she strangle him? Kelly said that she really liked Christopher, and she was mad at Jason for making her kill him. So that night, she thought about killing Jason too, and for the next 16 months until she finally did it. Kelly had told her brother that Jason fed Christopher and other parts of him to the pigs. We're not done with that yet. In early 2017, Kelly was sentenced to life for murder of Christopher Regan. She got tons of sentencing. Hold on and let me list it all. She got life imprisonment for first-degree murder without parole. She got 2.5 to 4 years prison for larceny in a building. She got 6 to 10 years prison for conspiracy to mutilate a dead body. 3 to 5 years of prison for concealing the death of a person. 2.5 to 4 years of prison for lying to a police officer. Oh, Johnny's Journey, cover your ears. You don't want to hear the rest. Instead of a trial for Jason, she pleaded guilty and said she strangled him. She made many more claims while in custody, and she can't be charged for anything that she now admits due to, it's like something to do with the deal she struck. So if she admits to anything else and tells anything else, she can't be charged any further. So she made many more claims that her and her husband may have committed many more murders. She can never be charged for these murders, but she claims to have 9 friends, her words, 9 friends buried across the states. Kelly's own brother fears she's a serial killer. Her family said they were invited over for a barbecue right after Chris disappeared. And while at the barbecue, they had multiple of them commented on how what they were eating did not taste right. They believe they ate Christopher. Oh, that's our story for tonight. And that is the story of Miss Kelly Cochran. Sorry, Johnny. I didn't realize you were eating. I thought the pigs thing was bad. And then at the end, her family. Oh, can you imagine being her family and not knowing? They get a little more gory with it. I wasn't going to do that to you all. But yeah, she said her 9 friends. She has 9 more friends. Happy place camping, you think so? I don't know. There's the story of the Tiger King. Carol Basket done fed her husband to the tigers. He just up and disappeared one day, and he's a pig farm. Oh, there you go. Tink says salt and pepper. Oh, can you imagine though? Yeah, poor Johnny. Oh, sorry, Johnny. Didn't know you were eating. Hey, Tommy Travels. He was always beating her. He treated her terribly. Thinks she had enough and took his butt out. Yeah, I'm sure that happens pretty often. I mean, not pretty often, but I'm sure it happens. But this lady, from what I have read and heard and everything like that, her and her husband had a pact from the very beginning. They grew up as next door neighbors when they were kids. They got married right after high school. They made a promise to each other. People were like, the lawyers were asking her, so did you think this was a joke? Did you think this was funny? Like, when you were talking to the police and the police were asking you about this, like, why didn't you just tell the police the first time? Because, of course, she's blaming it on her husband now because he's not here. But was it really her husband? Or was it her pulling all the strings and making her husband do it? Because her husband was disabled. Was her middle name Lucky? So wonder how many he killed. I don't know. Well, did he? That's kind of my theory. Did he? Or did she do the killings and blame it on him? Because if you remember at the beginning of the story, Christopher was breaking up with her. He didn't want anything to do with her anymore. He was going back to the other girl. So, if he had affairs, from the way the story seemed like he couldn't really get around, that he just stayed home. He didn't get out much. So I don't know. Oh, Senior Sister, I think this is the goriest one I've done so far. Yeah, they're usually not this gory. Yeah, usually this is the first one I've had where it's been like, oh. My rotisserie chicken suddenly tastes bad. Well, just so you know, it was burgers. I just can't imagine. And to just keep up and leaving, like, oh, I'm in trouble now. I think I might be caught. So I'm just going to go ahead and move. I'll never look at a burger the same again. Well, Senior Sister, last week we had our epic RV adventure knew from her childhood someone that was involved. Hi, Brett. How are you? She knew someone that was involved in the story last time. And then next Wednesday, I'm hoping to have somebody in our community on who was involved, or not involved, but knows somebody who was involved in a true crime. But we'll see. I haven't heard back yet. If not, then I think I might cover a case of someone I knew that was involved. Unfortunately, the person I knew was a victim. And it's kind of really a sad case. And it is an unsolved case. You freaked me out when you said somebody in our community involved. I was like, well, I didn't mean involved. I got to choose my words real wisely when talking about these stories, huh? My brain is in one of those very fuzzy states today where it knows what it doesn't know what it wants to say. So anything could come out of my mouth right now. Hey, Griswold Family Vacay, welcome. Tommy Travels, welcome. Who else have I missed since I've been telling this here story? Let me scroll up here. Poor Johnny's Journey. I'm so sorry you're eating. Senior Sisters, Tinks, Johnny's Journey, Mons, Happy Place Camping, Brett, Senior Sister, Meant to Be RVing. Hello, thank you for coming on in. Linda Barker. I did see your comment come across. Seems understandable. He would be upset about the cheating. I did see that when it came in. Our epic RV adventures in here. Yeah. It's kind of a crazy story. Yeah, I know. ER nurses. Oh, I don't know how y'all eat with everything you see. Y'all are warriors, that's for sure. Warriors. Oh, Griswold Family Vacay. So the I can't pronounce it. Like I said, words are not my friend today. The bocce ball. I used to play that, and the one where you hit the ball through the little archways, you tap it, you go around your backyard and you hit them all through you set the little arches up all throughout your backyard and then you hit the ball through them. I think that's called cricket. I could be totally wrong. Croquet, that one. Yeah, we used to play those a lot when I was a kid. I think we still have those over at my parents' house. The old-fashioned ones. They were a blast. I loved seeing your video today. It brought back memories from my childhood. I loved it. Your boy was so sweet. Croquet, that's what it's called. Croquette? Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to say the name. Like I said, brain is fuzzy today. Fan Life with Gina Payne. Go check one out. It's done. What did I miss? What did I miss? I'm done. Okay, it makes me mad when someone hits my ball. Yeah. Well, the bocce is. I'm probably saying it wrong, but the Griswold Family Vacay. They have a video up on it, and it's the same way. You try to get as close to the white ball as you can, but you can also just knock somebody else's ball out if you want, so that theirs is further away. So it's the same kind of thing. Say this fast. Oh no, I can't say that. I am not a pheasant. No, I'm not saying that. It's going to come out really wrong. Finally got to have an eye appointment. Oh, Johnny's Journey, you got into an eye doctor. Okay, great. I was born in Wisconsin, which is where the show Making a Murderer takes place. My parents know Penny Bernstein, which is the lady that he was originally. Oh, wow. Okay, Tommy Travels, that's awesome. I love true crime stuff. I love getting the story behind all of it, but I also love hearing like there are some people that turn the tragedy into into something really positive afterwards. The families do. They turn it into something really positive afterwards, and I love hearing those stories too. So I don't know. I just love it. Do you remember the Copeland murders? No, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Happy Place. I'm gonna have to look that up. I was thinking about covering. Hold on one second. Let me write this down. Do you people from Missouri, do you remember the lady that was murdered several years back in St. Genevieve? And they couldn't find her. She just went missing, but they suspected the husband. And then they ended up finding her on her husband's property, but her husband's not been arrested. That was the story I was thinking about covering. Yes, Griswold, I'm in Missouri also. Yeah, it was a lady who the husband was cheating. She was a Sunday school teacher, loved in the community, amazing woman, and she just suddenly walked out of her house in the middle of a stormy night and went missing. And then they found her bones on the property. And he's still not been arrested. Even his kids think he's guilty. I'll have to look that one up, Happy Place. Hey, K&R Destinations. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, he still walks around. He still has his property. He moved his new woman in right after. It's insane. If they do, they haven't released it yet. They keep a certain amount of stuff private, but yeah, they haven't released that yet. But there's so many petitions for justice for her, and I don't know. It's a really sad case. Her son and his wife lived on the property at the time too, just right up the road from their mother and father when this happened. And they said there is no way she would have just walked out in a storm. I'm doing good, K-Nar. There's a show where these chicks go around trying to close old cases. One is a former prosecutor. I can't remember the name of the show. think that's where I watched about the St. Genevieve case. Probably. The St. Genevieve case has gotten a lot of people that have come in and tried to get closure. Hopefully soon, Brett. I haven't done any for a little bit now. You should hook up with Carol Baskin. That would be interesting to see who walks away from that relationship, right, Tommy Travels? Can you imagine? Constantly looking over their shoulder? Who's going to take who out first? Jeez. I will, Brett. I definitely will. How have you been, Brett? It's been a little while since I seen you. So that story didn't take as long as I thought it would. But I'll try to make them a little bit longer in the future. But at the same time, I didn't want to get into the really gruesome details of that one was kind of yucky anyway. Thanks, Happy Place. I appreciate that. I do like the true crime stuff. There's a couple cases in St. Genevieve that I actually know. My friend's aunt was killed in St. Genevieve also. So I'm going to tell that story. What would be really cool is if I could get her brother to come on and tell the story, or if I could interview him and tell his side of what happened. Because it was a farmhand who killed her, which is crazy. I'm trying to give away 2 gold rings for free. Only thing is, the wife will still be attached to them. Thanks. You're so funny. I signed on late and was worried it was a Mad Lib one. No, just true crime. Yeah, it was my childhood friend. He lived with his aunt, and they lived down the street from me. She had the house where we lived, and then she had a farm in St. Genevieve, which she was a nurse, so she worked 3 days, 12-hour shifts. Or it might have been 12 or 16s. I don't know how the nursing world works. I forget. I used to know back in the day what her shifts were. But she worked these really long shifts, but she worked them 3 days in a row, and then she had the rest of the time off. So she worked her 3 days, and then when she had her time off, she would go down to her farm, and then she would run her farm. Well, for the 3 days that she wasn't there, she would have a farmhand that took care of the farm for her on those 3 days. Well, things went wrong, and something happened to her at a grocery store. And I'll save that for another time. But it was a sad story. I signed on late and was afraid that it was a Mad Lib one. She was a sweet lady, too. She had never been married, and she was a nurse, and she'd given you the shirt off her back to help you. You know you have never-ending content with these true crime stories. Yeah, there's a lot of true crime. Yeah, it is sad that there's that much true crime, though. I've gone back and forth with talking about the riot stuff, but there's so much news coverage on the riot stuff, and it's heartbreaking. It hurts my heart, the stuff that I'm seeing, and some of it I'm seeing, and it makes me angry. Some of it I see, and it hurts my heart that I don't want to cover it. I don't want to talk about it. So I'll stick to the true crime and my Mad Libs. Because the riot stuff is just, ugh. Yes, Griswold family vacay. Prayers for the world. Correct. That's how I feel. Prayers for the world. Yeah. Don't want to talk about the riots either. Amen. Ditto. Yeah. There's just so much of that when you turn on your TV or you look at Facebook or any of that stuff right now. It's everywhere. Twitter? Oh, stay off of Twitter. It's the wrong place to go if you don't want to. I talked about that a little last night because I'm in St. Paul and it's had more of a drive. Oh, no. Tommy Travels, I get that. No, I totally get that. I talked about it a little bit when, like, my son was trying to come home and the bridge going into downtown St. Louis, they had it blocked because of the riots. That stuff I'll talk about. I just mean I don't feel like doing, like, news coverage on it. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't have a problem talking about it a little bit, but I don't want to make a whole segment on it. Sorry if my breathing's loud. So what is everyone having for dinner tonight, and what are you currently sipping on? It's afternoon, so please, people, do not tell me you're drinking coffee still. You'll be up all night. I'm from Derry in Ireland. I was brought up through 30 years of troubles. What I'm seeing now is wee buns, to be honest. Ah. Happy place. Margarita. Now that sounds nice. Coffee and McDonald's. Oh, you have an excuse, though, a little bit. You have an excuse because you need to stay awake. Water. Here we go. Water. That's healthy. Water. But later. Ooh, what you having later? Coffee, sausage, and shrimp on the griddle. Hey, Ozark Pathfinders. Hello. Welcome to the chat. All right, all you coffee drinkers out there, does it keep you up at night? Rum. Ooh, that sounds good. Sounds good. I guess I shouldn't, like, hackle the coffee drinkers too bad because Diet Dr. Pepper has caffeine in it, and that's what I drink all day, every day. So I shouldn't hackle you coffee drinkers too much. Only if I have a second cup. No, decaf does not. My first cup is like a double or a triple cup, though. Sipping water. I'll be up all night. Had a tuna sandwich for lunch. Haven't considered dinner yet. Ah. I had a little handful of fries, and I threw some shredded cheese on it. So I had cheese fries so far. That's what I've had today. $22.43 here. Jack and Coke. It's bedtime, though. Oh, interesting combo. Interesting combo. I am not good with military time. What time is that? Somebody that's good with military time. Can you tell me? I had tots with cheese. I'm like a kid with my taste buds. I am. I like kiddie foods. 10:43? Probably right. That sounds about right because they're getting ready for bed, so 10:43 would sound right. Sounds about right. So I haven't talked about it just yet, but anybody that's in here right now and hasn't heard yet, we have a brand new talk show launching on a brand new channel. It's called Let's Talk About It Live, and it is 3 women that are going to talk about all kinds of topics, and we want to invite other people to talk about topics too. And we want people to bring up the topics they want to talk about. We want to hear from everybody in the what's called chatterbox on the show. So we're really, really excited to launch this. It's going to be me, Mel Nettie, Living Free Zip Codeless, and Meant to Be RVing. And then we're going to have all kinds of people come up and chat about stuff too. So if one of the girls can drop the link in the description below, I'd really appreciate it, or in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. And I think, I'm having a hard time breathing. I think I put, there we go. I think it's in my description too, for anybody that watches this back later. And then right after this live, K&R Destinations is going to be on, and they have a guest at the beginning of their show, and they're going to have a guest at the end of, towards the end of their show. So you'll want to stay for their whole show because it's going to be awesome. So if you don't have K&R Destinations yet, we're going to go ahead and link them because we're going to raid them after this show, because they're going to have a really awesome show too. But Let's Talk About It Live will be on at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and 9 Eastern tonight. It'll be really fun. And we're going to get to see Nettie, her personality, come out more and more, because it's going to be her weekly thing she's going to be doing. Hey, Roy and Becky's Travels. How you doing? I sent y'all an email today about some true crime stuff. Yeah, so we appreciate all the support with the new show. The community has been so kind and welcoming and amazing. I really, really appreciate it. It's been a really positive response to the show, and I really, really appreciate it. Okay, our epic RV adventure. Thank you for coming. Yeah, and we're hoping the show is just as positive and fun. So, thank you all. Appreciate it. Sorry I'm yawning. That's not nice of me. Nobody yawn after me, because then it'll just pass it right back. I'll be good or bad, whatever you choose. Thanks, Ozark Pathfinders. I hope I sent it to the right email. I don't know. I have been kind of fuzzy-brained. Hey, Bob's Adventure. I love saying that name. That is an ingenious name, and I love saying it. Been busy, but didn't get nothing done. Bob's Adventure. Adventure. See, I had to say it twice because I love it so much. Got a new phone with a new camera on it and did some really pretty filming today. So go check that out if you haven't checked it out. It's really, really, really pretty. I love the music Bob puts in his videos. I'm a metal detectist and not sure how I ended up here. It's good though. Oh, Tinks, we have RVists, we have metal detectors, we have travelers. We have all kinds of people. It's a great community. Oh, we have Tommy Travels. He's great. It's just a great community. We have a little bit of everything. Oh yeah, homesteaders. We have homesteaders. Happy Place Camping does magnet fishing. Yeah, as I'm saying, it pops up in the chat. Yeah, we have a lot of everything around here. Follow the chats from chat to chat. You'll find all kinds of stuff. Hi, Lucky Dog Productions moderator, Sue. I say your whole name and then your name. I'm great to have you, Tinks. So great to have somebody from across the pond. We have a few from across. We have someone from Finland. Now we have someone from Ireland. We have people from. Where's Posh Cats Camping from? I'm so bad with things. We have people from. We have just a great community. UK. That's right, the UK. Scotland. Oh, it's okay, Lucky Dog Productions. It's okay. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. He plays the guitar. You sound good and loved having you here today. Oh, Tinks plays the guitar? Is that what you're saying? Oh, have a good night at work, Johnny's Journey. Hey, Justin and Christina's RV van life. It's kind of a gruesome one, Sue. Don't eat while you watch it. Luckily, Johnny's Journey is an ER nurse, so she did all right eating and watching it. You do not want to eat and watch this story. That's awesome. I'll have to go check that out. Tinks, I didn't know you played the guitar. That's cool. Oh, thanks, Tommy Travels. I appreciate that. If anyone hasn't hit the like button, now would be a good time. Thank you, Tommy Travels. Appreciate that. Yeah, this one's a little gruesome. Senior sister came in and heard this one. She said, I'd never been to one of these before. I wanted to see what it was like. Oh, wow. I felt kind of bad because her first one was kind of, wow, really gruesome. It was a bit of a rough one. Thank you, Nettie, for dropping all the links tonight. And I think Meant to Be, you've probably been dropping some too. So thank you all for dropping links tonight. Thank you all the mods for always watching the chat for me. I appreciate it very much. Happy Place, I saw you drop a link too. Thank you. I appreciate it. And we are going to go ahead and raid K&R Destinations. They're going to have a special guest at the beginning, and they're going to have somebody on towards the end also. So you want to stay the whole way through. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. And then don't forget, tonight is the launch of Let's Talk About It Live. That'll be 8 p.m. Central Standard, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about jobs. My first job's very interesting. I don't think many people worked where I worked for my first job. I was a very strange individual. I needed money. No, I didn't work on a street corner. Stop it with that stuff. I'm just kidding. You know, I got to kind of toe that line and push it just a little bit. We got to laugh sometimes at my expense. All right, well, let's go ahead on over and let's raid K&R destinations. Thank you all for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Wishing you all much kindness and much love. Bye for now, everybody. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. You made my heart smile. Bye for now.